I'm a man.
Not today, sir.
You will not be taking our ship
Today, sir.
So this part was really cool because it's
Yeah. You know, in the moment, this was really cool. Watching back on the video afterwards, it's a little weird. Cold open.
well, okay, the reason it's still here, because I can go into YouTube and cut it out, but the reason it's still here is because we lose the live chat replay. if I
Oh,
cut it
really?
out. Yeah.
Oh, then this
So-
is actually a good thing to keep.
Yeah.
I kind of like this, actually.
I think we're going to keep it for sync purposes. Would be nice.
Oh, true.
So we can just keep yapping for a little bit. But,
This is actually genuinely...
What was that?
Ignore that. Ignore the extra colon.
oh! It's because I was probably masking the other side of it out.
Wait a minute.
It was going by frame in the third.
Yeah.
In the third of it.
I'm just. Did you just take a timer and paste it in the center of the frame?
It was a Adobe Premiere built-in timer.
Okay.
I had to mask it out because it was like a frame timer. I had already uploaded it, and the 3.5-hour 4K file takes forever to upload, so I was not going to re-edit it, re-export it, and re-upload it. So I just kept it in. And people kind of liked it, but...
I do remember watching the chat, and everyone was like, "Oh, another countdown!
But
Let's go!"
I really wanted to keep the live chat, and so when I edited the video down initially, it got rid of the live chat, and I couldn't figure out why, and I was so mad. And then eventually, I can't remember, I was messing around with the YouTube settings, and I was like, what if I restore it to its original form? And then it came back, and I was like, oh, great. I loved watching the live chat replay, because y'all were tweaking hard.
I remember when watching it, it was like everyone was going crazy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was really fun because it was during lockdown that it premiered.
Yeah, that was in the middle of COVID. Honestly.
Yeah, and so it was a fun. I don't know. It was a fun reminder that I don't know. There was like a sense of community to it. You know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was a lot of fun. I had one of the best times of my life in the creative world doing this in Chapter Omega. I'm more proud of this than Chapter Omega for a lot of reasons, but both of them together were just an incredibly fun time. I think for all three of us. Just
From what I remember, my opinion might change because it's, believe it or not, I have not gone back and rewatched as much. I've actually watched clips from it here and there or shown it to people.
Yeah.
But I remember liking Chapter Omega more, and it might have just been because of the fact that
This one's long, maybe.
it's long. There is the battle sequence is paced a little funky from what I remember,
Yeah.
but also Chapter Omega it felt big. It felt like a big deal. It didn't release during COVID.
Yeah.
And so we had a build up to it. There was so much going on
There was the
surrounding
contest, and there was the get-together we did.
the premiere at the theater,
Yeah.
which was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was cool.
I got you. So we probably won't see it. We're going to take off here in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Awesome.
See ya.
Well, it's nice
Hey
to
guys,
see you
this
again.
is a Dad William Furno appearance.
Good to see you again.
Don't get too scared.
See where I get my looks from.
You're supposed to say good looks.
Oh, and you
Back to Valor.
your recommended videos are brain rot.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see why you'd be more proud of this one too. I remember the script for this one, the story of it being really interesting
Yeah.
and very different from.
Yeah,
all your
I mean,
other
it's
work.
still like relatively derivative of certain aspects of my favorite Marvel movies, specifically Endgame. I mean, but for the most part, I did kind of advertise it. I made sure to let people know, like, hey, if you thought Chapter Omega was too much like Infinity War, more steps were taken in this one to make it less derivative of specific scenes of Marvel movies and more just like.
But you know, a lot of the great directors take from other movies.
Yeah.
Look at Tarantino.
Right. I mean, he copied Star Wars word for word.
Lance Newman. Eek.
Yeah. We still, even after all these years, think Lance Newman is the best we have.
His acting is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, this is the scene where the only F-bomb in the entire WFU was dropped.
Guardians 3 style.
As dead as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That's a line that's gonna age really poorly someday.
Yeah, it already has. To be honest.
Can you smell what I'm cooking?
Hey,
He has zero filter.
Here it is.
Fuck you.
I'm so sorry to all the parents watching. I did not mean to expose your child to.
Finish that sentence right now.
I did not mean to expose your child's ears to.
Oh no!
I didn't mean to flash.
Look, maybe if you just were like a little more.
I should have put a warning before I put that there.
Maybe you should just be a better parent. Pay attention a
Should
little
have
more.
had a timer in the countdown. Countdown to F-bomb.
We need more.
Warning.
I saw this reel that was like, directors need to start putting the desired emotions they want out of the audience on the scene. So like intrigue, anger, happiness, just put it in the corner, just so we know what we're supposed to be feeling. He's also peak. Edwin Tiong.
No, the place actually feels safer without it.
Xanax.
Oh, I forgot we're in this movie.
It's Zenix. I've got the test.
Here's what we gotta do. Every time any of us are in the movie, we gotta like
Take a shot. Look, I've never had a drink of alcohol before. I think I would die by probably well, here we go.
This is the fun filmmaking part about this movie. Those shots that we just saw of the landscape. What you want to explain what the deal with those shots is?
At least.
Because didn't you take those yourself?
yeah.
I don't know. It looks so clean and crisp. It looks like stock footage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Zarin, you're always too sweet.
Our system.
Like
That was actually you.
you're just a sweet homie, bro.
I tried.
But no, I appreciate you. But yeah. I thought you were about to. So I thought you were gonna call back to a time. All right. I'm not saying I actually did this, but I might have. Where I took drone clips from YouTube
The power
and used them as expository shots in my films, my Lego films.
I didn't know you did that.
Before I had.
That's kind of not cool.
No, I know. So I thought you were about to call me out on that. I thought you'd be like, so cool. The cool thing about these shots is that you didn't freaking get there, did you?
No, I remember it because at one point you did. I don't know if you still messed around with drone shots or anything,
I
but
haven't in a while, but yeah.
I remember you were messing around with them and actually started using them for the projects.
Yeah.
Now, like,
yeah.
because that stuff it looks good, and it's because
Yeah.
it's way more professionally
Yes.
done. But
It
it
turned out
was actually you who did it.
Yeah. So for those watching in this movie, those are my shots, but in Randy the Radioactive Rebellion,
while my
they were
physical
not.
body was beaten to shreds in that
Uh,
forest.
But so something I wish I would have done with drone shots is incorporate the characters into them more, because right now they sort of feel like stock footage incorporated into the film rather than like shots that were on location, which they were, but they just don't seem like it. The issue with doing that, the issue with incorporating the characters into these big drone shots, is that Zennon pointed out something great when we were in high school, and is that the more effective shots in this content were the close-ups, because it created a sense of scale to these tiny little 6-inch figures.
Yeah.
And whenever I did a shot with my camcorder or with the drone that was like sweeping or kind of a wide shot of the entire action, then they were noticeably toys.
Yeah.
And it kind of could take you out of it. So I think it's a good point to bring up. Like, I would have probably done more drone shots with the characters, but they would look so much like toys.
Yeah.
Shots.
With what's going on here, he's got like some death tracks in him, right? And
Yes.
that's like coming out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
You know
guess
what's really funny?
what's that?
You've never played Kingdom Hearts, and you created Kingdom Hearts in your project.
Essentially, yeah.
I wonder. I can't help but feel like my influence was somehow did something here because you talked to me and I
Oh
played
yeah,
Kingdom Hearts.
you guys always gave like suggestions and stuff, and sometimes even
So-
touched the scripts. So
Yeah.
You're doing
Whoa!
I know the effects.
Look
are
at
crazy.
those effects. No, honestly, considering you were a one-man show who was self-taught, it's actually not too bad.
Actually, Alan Lagaki, our media producing teacher in high school.
Producer of my debut short film,
Yes, and mine that I did with Chance and Zarin and
Nice.
Will
Kanan.
Kanan. Yeah, it was a good time. He actually had a point in his course where he taught us how to do lightsabers and keyframe them to fit, the hilts without the lightsaber on them.
Yeah.
We didn't get that far. Lockdown happened.
Oh yeah, COVID happened when he was taking the house. But the whole reason you see those, mid 2D effects in these films is because Alan Lagaki taught me how to do that.
Oh, that effect was cool. It was simple, but I like it.
A lot of the practical stuff that I was able to do on set looks a lot better than the...
Wow. Hey, you hear that, Hollywood? Who would have thought?
Did you see the shot before? You might have missed it, but his shield flies towards him.
Yeah.
And he's holding his hand out. The picture that I took of the shield to get that cropped PNG image to make it fly was taken on set with that lighting so that it looked perfect.
That's the way to do it.
A really funny thing about these films, it still gets me to this day.
The whole set's falling apart. Oh no.
What are you talking about?
That's okay. It can go down if it needs to. It was being held in my blankets.
Really?
So,
You want me to prove?
the voice actors, most of them were not professionals. Most of them didn't have their own equipment. That was really good. So, gosh, you're going to hear,
A wide range of audio quality.
Yeah, some people are on Nintendo 3DSs, and some people are on like a snowball microphone or like the Yeti or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun to hear that.
Okay, who's this now?
So this is Force,
Dawson Force.
Dawson Force.
Hey, look at me
He
go.
almost got shot.
Yeah.
Very abrupt gunshot.
Do you guys remember like what's happening really like in terms of BioHero?
So BioHero disappeared for a long time.
So he disappeared at the end of season 2. His timeline is that he goes to Valor, so this is him right after season 2. And then he finds out at the end of Valor that he has to sacrifice himself to save Parahia and to save the timelines, and so he goes back, and that's where he shows up in Chapter Omega.
Yes,
And the whole thing was at the time people didn't know that, so when he shows up in Chapter Omega, they're like, "What the
Someone
heck?"
is here. Someone should.
That's the basic plot. Detrax wins. He builds this island, and then BioHero doesn't like it because he doesn't know why he doesn't like it.
I know you think I'm insane.
And then he goes on a journey and finds out, wait a minute, this island isn't terrible.
Well, it don't suck, I guess.
It's a long time. So when you're ready to listen to me,
What are you
I'll
laughing
be
about?
here.
So the
BioHero
real
with a
thing-
country accent.
Oh,
So, well, it don't suck, I guess.
So what happened
Yeah,
to
tracks.
BioHero?
you
Why
bring
was
your
he-
wrangling ass over here.
So did he just time travel from the end of season 2 to now? Or was there stuff that happens in between to him?
For BioHero, nothing happened in between.
Okay.
But Chapter Omega happened in between.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I meant for him.
For him, no.
Okay, so this was immediately, he just ended up here after
Yeah.
season 2.
And that's why he's acting so confused, and the Detrax is taking over his body, and he's all out of sorts. But this is the world, this is the post-Chapter Omega world, so characters that did survive are kind of reconciling with that, and Zenix is sitting creepily in the background of the shot.
10 years is a hell of a long time.
He speaks!
We're going to turn this up just a little bit.
It's a long time of not knowing what to do, Force.
Gosh,
But for a guy like me,
I know my voice is still relatively high pitched, but man, it was a lot more high pitched back then.
Have you heard Hero Factory Final Curtain
that
recently?
counts.
When you
Actually,
first started
yes.
doing Zenix?
Actually, yes, because we had discussions about crediting
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking.
for your series.
Where's Tomafi?
And so I watched through everything I was a part of. Not watched it, but skimmed through it. And yikes. We were what, in 7th grade when that came? When we made
7th
that?
and 8th would have been that. Yeah. No, 7th. Yeah, you're right. 6th and 7th actually.
That's cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Because
we
it came out
became
in
friends.
2015.
We became friends in 6th grade.
Yeah.
That was literally a decade ago.
That's when the
'Cause
Diet
you were
Coke
like-
thing started.
yeah.
We watched
Oh.
Randy together. Yeah.
We should watch that clip.
We'll go back and watch
Yeah.
that. All right. I'm gonna lock in. It starts to actually pick up a little bit here. Some fighting starts and whatnot.
Mad respect to Detrax for creating this new land and then not ruling it.
So true.
It's figure it out yourselves.
Did a little neck crack there.
I just did that like a minute ago.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
I like the occasional cutting back to Detrax on the beach.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice, but I think it really works. It shows that he's still a presence here despite not being present here.
That's true. Yeah. I think I had that in mind when I shot it because I remember I left the camera rolling for the entirety of the sunset that was happening in the shot.
I think it was hard.
I know this was stated a million times in previous Rewind episodes. Rudaka has always been one of my favorite characters in your universe. Not only because I think the character herself is cool, but also like the voice acting is like
I'll be fine.
some of the best.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, pretty much every time she's on camera, it's a little distracting that her shoulders are just rocking.
Because
Every time I'm like, I think that's her face for a second, and I'm like, nope, that's not right.
Pretty sure
That's fair. You're
Pretty sure
absolutely
we've
fine.
talked about this in Rewind before as well, but it is very jarring for me having a character that has the same
that's your
name as me.
Yeah.
Because
I
every
forget why
time
we made that decision, but
I don't remember.
You made that decision.
well, I just forget the reasoning behind it because we obviously had a conversation about it before it happened.
I think you said that my name sounded like it already kind of fit in the lore,
Okay.
and then you just were like, "But we'll change the spelling of it."
I'm not offended or anything.
No, I'm just messing. I just mean like.
But it is really jarring hearing people I've never even talked to in real life say my name.
Well, it'll be even more jarring because with Detrack's reign, I think we are officially W King Zarin. So.
Hey,
Detrax, what would you like us to do with them?
Even stuff like that is simple, having multiple.
For a decade, I've gazed upon the pure, unparalleled beauty in front of me.
Reaction shot, reaction.
I walked and engaged with the wonderful
Oh, we're letting
locals
Lance
here.
have the floor. Okay.
I have thanked the heavens time and time again. Because even after my reckless actions, they bestowed to me untamed mercy. They blessed me with parahia for the last years of my ruling. But today, as I stood here,
What is the score from?
I felt a sharp
This would be
pain
The
in
King,
my
I
heart.
think. Netflix
I am
film
no
starring
longer
Timothée
complete.
Chalamet.
And so I must continue
sounds really
to do
cool.
what is right.
I actually still listen to it now just
It has to
to
be
get
the
inspiration
only
when
thing
we
that
talk
made me.
with Jamie about the Detrax film.
Because we all
I was just gonna mention
I have
earlier
been able to practice my
there was a
patience
shot
for the past many years.
where Detrax was
Please,
looking at the
let's not
fire
stand here all day.
in the background, and in the foreground was Zarin and Rudaka.
Yeah.
But they were out of focus and Detrax was in focus, and it's so simple. But like even back then in high school, having that
I am very
Depth.
display of depth
Yeah.
in your shots
Yeah.
that's impressive for
Thanks, man.
I mean being self-trained
And
essentially.
it was even like it was almost like second nature. It's not like I didn't storyboard any of this.
right.
This was all run and done, you know, which made it fun in a way. But yeah, man.
I mean for sure. You know, we just watched
Course.
my short film Wires a little bit ago. There is a credited storyboard artist. We storyboarded one scene and then decided, nah, let's just shoot. So like, definitely
Bringing
for
back the
sure,
Classic Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
By the way.
for sure, like, you know, people like you and me, like we watch film and study it for fun, and that you kind of pick up on things, and like a lot of it is like kind of subconscious almost.
Yeah. This is true. You brought it up a lot when this film came out, but you saw the whole film as a metaphor for growing up
Yeah,
and moving on from, you know, the early days of childhood and all that.
yeah.
And rewatching it, I did watch it this year back in January, just kind of experience a live chat again. And I totally picked up on it. And it's just subconscious.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
even realize you're doing it.
They were totally ahead of the game on the multiverse stuff. Marvel definitely copied you.
I mean, ahead of the game, I think it was just starting to get to be like a
I mean,
idea.
The fact that you were doing like even like the other timeline stuff in like 2018 and 19 and stuff. like,
Yeah. It was becoming a big thing in the community because at the time there was a creator, and he's still around, and he still does stuff. His name is Thatchback, and he did very impressive stop motion stories. One was called Fables of the Multiverse, and it heavily inspired a lot of people to embrace this idea of like, in the community, you know, we're all in our separate timelines.
the right to pursue life.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how much of a community it all felt like.
That was pretty sick.
Yes. And I'm not.
Get this guy cast and stuff, man. Put him in like a blockbuster. Have him voice like a villain, like a full CGI villain in a Marvel movie. What are you waiting for?
You know him? Where do you think we've been living for the past 10 years?
me after doing 10 push-ups too.